Welcome back to Test and Tune and a broken fridge. Let me show you what's happening. So we have had this lovely fridge for probably about 6 months now, and the control panel is faulty. Now, it was given to us, and it was given to us as a faulty fridge. I have repaired it once, but I did a sort of a bodgy repair. So this control panel, it has a wiring loom that runs in the side of the fridge door here. It actually curls round in an electrical rail. We'll get to it in a second. And all I did was just cut it, resolder it, and put the same 5, 6, 8-year-old wiring back in that obviously lives in a very cold environment, and I'm assuming that's what's triggering it to break. So hopefully, in an effort to get this working again, I'm going to replace the wiring in there, make a new sort of harness up, and hopefully get control back, because I can't turn the ice maker off, we can't set anything in the fridge. This controls everything. So it also does the door alarm, so now when you leave a door open, well, it's not going to do it, but if you leave the door open, the alarm doesn't go off. It all happens through this control panel, so I want to get it fixed, because I'm good at leaving the door open and then it all melts and I get in trouble. Let's get this happening. So first thing, we need to get access to the rail. This top piece just pulls out nice and easily. We will plonk it just there. And you'll see in here, we have this gear on both sides. It's what keeps the door moving in parallel, so you can't twist it. But we need to get the door out. So first things first. Okay, I thought I'd just show you before we actually take it apart, but one end of the harness is in here. This is just behind this plastic cover is where it connects into the control panel. And you can see that the wire runs through this channel here and then through a cable snake and actually connects in behind the runner in here, which is why you've got to take the rail out to actually get into the runner. In fact, you can see the cable just down there. All right, so to get it off, we're going to remove the plastic cover here, which is just Phillips screwdrivers. Then we've got that screw there and that screw there. That lets the other side of the cover come off. Okay, so I've ended up disconnecting the wiring harness just from this plug here. I didn't want to undo this one again. It feels like it's just going to break something. So in the interest of preserving this, because I think this part's okay, now we need to get the door off. And to do that, we've got two little clips on the side here which push in. You've got to push them in and then pull the rail, which I cannot do one-handed, but let me see how we go. If we do this, and hopefully don't knock the camera over. Let's release that side. Push it in, pull the door. Don't get enough pull on it. Come on. There it is. Okay, so they're both loose. Better hold the camera and the door should come out. Should. And that is the door out of the way. And now with the door out of the way, the lights now no longer work, but we can get this piece off so we can get to the electrical connection. And we can see on this part here, I think this is where we've got a little bit of a kink that it doesn't want. All right, so here we have the connection to the main part of the fridge. Now I think this wire doesn't normally move, so we'll undo that. It looks like a pretty standard clip for no reason. The clip is there. Okay, so you only need to remove that top piece if you're going to be depinning it, I assume, which I don't want to do today, but let's have a look at the harness. So with the door sensor unplugged from this little area here, I poked the rest of the harness out of there, and then we have where the original repair was here. Okay, I think we've got another broken wire in there, so let's open it up and have a look. Okay. See my lovely electrical tape fix. I kind of hoped that this was going to keep the wire in a place where it wasn't getting moved as the door opened and closed. Obviously that's failed. So, yeah. So you can see where the repair was done last time, where I've got my joins, then they broke just in here. So the plan moving forwards is to replace this entire harness with some Cat 6 cable. So let me go see what I've got laying around. All right, so what I'm gonna do for the repair is use a Cat 6 cable. Something to be aware of, most of the pre-terminated Cat 6 cables that you get from cheap dollar stores or wherever, that basically the ones that have the melted terminals already on the end, they have a flexible core, not a solid core. And all that means is they basically, a lot of the industrial or commercial Cat 6 that you buy that comes in the 300 meter rolls, they have solid core. The issue with solid core, if you do this a few times, the solid cores break. They're not designed to be moved, where this is more sort of, you have it behind your desk in your house and it's a bit more, well, it is flexible. I had this left over from a camera that I just installed, so it's free and it's the easiest way to do it. I'm sure you can buy this harness online. I have no idea what the part number is. There's no part numbers on it, but if you don't want to actually solder in some new wire, you could buy that. But yeah, I'm sure that the harness piece will cost a lot more than what I've got laying around, so I'm going to fix it. Yeah, basically I've just cut that so it's a little bit longer than what I need, but I'm going to cut the factory harness just here and just here. Now the factory harness is an 8-core wire. This is a 10-core plug, but it incorporates the door sensor, which doesn't go all the way out to the front. Anyway, 8 cores, here to here. I've got to cut, join, and make sure I get the wire color right. I'll do that now. So, before we put everything back together, I think it's good to test it, especially to make sure we've got the wires around the right way. Although, before you tape it up, just double check you got them right. Get the power and the negative around the wrong way, you'll ruin it. So we've got this end plugged in, and now it's time to plug the door end in, and we'll see what it does. Just come to life. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right, we've got a door alarm again, because the door's open. The buttons work? They do. Okay. We've got our touch buttons back. Let's reset the filter. Cool. And door alarm is going off, but this piece is the door sensor here. And I think if I do that, the light goes off and the door thinks it's shut. Open the door. Oh. Okay, cool. So the wiring's done. We just got to feed it all back in its channels and put everything back together. Okay, so it's all back together, and you can sort of see the mechanism work there. And my arm gets stuck, but she's working. We have full controls on the drawer. This 20 is a bit dodgy, that 8-digit thing there, but I think that's always been like that. Either way. And then, is it working? Should we set the freezer to 23? Doesn't look faulty. We'll do that. Fixed everything today. So there was one thing that I'd sort of overlooked, is where I joined the wires just here near this plug. I had to cut her a little relief on this little panel here. It was just too fat to fit in the original channel. But she's now in. Oh, well, that's it. So, fridge fixed. I think one of the key things to remember is you've got to tell your partner that it would cost about $600 from the repairman to fix it, and then you can spend that money on car parts.